Hello everyone and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Get that bell notification on too so you don't miss out on the next episode of Brockton County, Ontario themed city. And make sure to hit the like button too. The like button helps the channel a lot. Happy Wednesday. This is the second episode on our new schedule, Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the time being. You know, we're just going to dive right into today's video. And what we're going to be doing in today's video, well, we are going to be expanding the small farming town of Pearson. We're going to be adding in some more farming. We're going to be adding in a bit more residential and just kind of tweaking that town a bit. And if we have time, we might kind of stretch some new residential builds into a different little area. But I was going to do the cottage country today, but I realized that a lot of the lots are still filling out. So we'll have to wait a little bit more on that before we dive back in. But yeah, let's start off today's video with a short intro. So this is the town of Pearson. Really small town, dirt roads or gravel roads. It's got a couple parks. It's got a quiet main street with a lot of empty lots apparently. You know, I thought that there was a bit more commercial buildings through here, and I'm pretty sure that is zoned as commercial. So you know what, I think we just need to get some more people through here, and that might help things out a little bit. So I think we're just going to expand the central town a bit, and we might do a bit of tweaking onto these more like private homes. Yeah, the theme we're kind of going for is a small farming town that perhaps got a bit of a suburban expansion, to say a farmer sold their lands because it's pretty close to the highway over here, which runs right through the heart of the city. So, you know, it seems like it's a pretty good little community to live in, right? So yeah, so we're going to be doing that, and then we're going to add a couple more farms through here because we want to just increase the amount of crops we have in play throughout the map. I know it's not the most efficient location for a lot of the factories we have, but honestly, as long as the trucks are in play, that works with me. I'm not looking to make the most efficient city in the world. I'm looking to make a really cool looking city. So I think we'll perhaps look at some things over here. Perhaps another orchard, I think, would be nice down this way. But I don't think we're going to fill every single possible lot with farms because that would be a lot. But yeah, I just kind of scattered about like that. Perhaps another one close by to the city as well might be nice. But let's start over here in the town. So, you know, it has a couple bus routes going through it. Seems pretty solid with me. I think we just need to look at increasing the residential capacity. There's also some industrial over here. We have the demand. So, you know, I think it's just a matter of time before this town really grows. So we're going to go with some bigger lots through here. I don't necessarily mind that this is a bigger block. I think as long as we have a good amount of houses through here, we're going to get kind of the vibe we're going for. Yeah, I think that'll probably be good. Let's get a nice big one over here. And we'll get a couple more houses through here as well. Yeah, let's I don't think we're gonna do like block zoning again, so I think we'll just kind of try to leave some spaces. Do the same thing on the other side, and then we'll get a couple smaller homes right through here. We'll see what pops up. All right, and then we're on this side, and we'll do the same thing, but I think I'm gonna be a bit more random with this one. Change up the lot sizes a bit. Yeah. Just by doing this, you kind of add like a bit of flair to the little town, right? And we have this little offshoot here, so I say perhaps someone owns this big spot of land, and we won't have too many houses on it. But just by extending the town a little bit, I think we're gonna get kind of the look we're going for. And I think we can get houses on this side over here as well. Yeah. It's a good little expansion. And then over here, we were talking about how this is kind of more like a suburb. So I think what we'll do is we'll extend out this road here. We'll kind of get it to do a similar thing. Oh man, yes, yesterday when I recorded, the fact that the industrial roads is in its own tab, that really threw me off. Not gonna lie to you. So yeah, whew, things have changed. Alrighty, so let's get a couple more houses through here. And I think we're using the European suburban theme for this. and that's fantastic. I think every time we have a little spot like this where we have a bit of a dog park here, for example, I think if we just get a path behind it, I think that'll work fantastic. And then I think we'll do some detailing as well around the suburbs, or this town, sorry. Yeah, we really need to hope that some more commercial grows through here, because this town sure needs it. So good thing that people are starting to move in. So one thing that's really kind of driving down the prices, if we look at the land value here, it's not exactly the most valued of land, right? So you can always check whenever you're doing these small towns. Like this town is not in a fantastic location. It's not, say, the city where it's light green or has some really prime real estate. This is just a touch of green through here. So a couple things we can do to increase that land value is look at the coverage. So for example, let's start with healthcare. Healthcare is good citywide because we have the medical monument, but we do have a clinic in there. We do have some death care in this town, but we don't really have child care or elder care in this area. Now, I know it doesn't necessarily make a ton of sense for the theme that we're going for, but I think having at least one of the two will really increase kind of what we're going for. So I think because we're really struggling with some of this, I think what we might do is try and steal a bit of the main street here and plop down this. So I think we'll plop down right here. Just gonna do that, and I know that the pathway was underneath that, but we can just delete that. We'll just delete the whole thing. I don't think it's necessarily necessary. But instead we'll just run a fence along the back to kind of change things up a little bit. But yeah, hopefully by adding something as simple as that, that'll really increase the land value. I think we have good enough education through here. If we go to here, yeah, we have an elementary school. It should be fine. I know we have a bus route running right across. We're not going to do a high school, so what we could do to support that is to run a bus to the town of Dean Hills, because Dean Hills has a high school, and yeah, the high school is there, but I'm pretty sure not a lot of people go there yet. We have tons of space, so I think what we can do is we can run a school bus down through here. So we do have a bus line through here already. So what I'm thinking about doing here is just kind of copying something a bit similar. So we'll get the school bus to stop right there. It's going to swing down. We're just going to skip this whole part, and we're going to say, yeah, just come right along the main street here. I don't think that's necessarily a problem. It's not the most efficient school bus line in the world, but I think it gets the job done, right? So then we'll get it to stop right in front of the school like that, and then we'll get it to come all the way back. So, we're going to make this themed like a school bus, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will act like a school bus with the game. But what we can do with this line here, so we're just going to go to our bus lines, find bus line 66. We're going to say it's the Pearson school bus line. Holy cow. Pearson school bus line. So we don't really need a ton of buses through here. 20, that is way too many. I think we're just going to go with 3. It's probably too many anyways. We're just going to make the bus yellow just for fun. And then there is actually an item here that we can choose to make it a school bus. So a little fun little play that we can do with that. So it can actually act like a school bus for the town. So having that extra coverage should increase the land value of the town. So what else can we do to kind of help out the town of Pearson? Well, it looks like, first of all, it looks like we've actually gained some of the residences that we're looking to grab. So that is great to see. So we just did this. We do have an elder care possibility. Oops. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily, there's not elder care up here. There's not really an elder care over this way either. So there's one here and one here. So we actually do kind of have a bit of a need for it in Hickory Meadows. So if we put it down over here in a more realistic location, well, not really, because that's the ore farm, holy cow, the ore mine. It won't be the worst idea in the world to have one over here, but I think it would have to be a very specific location for that. So perhaps we'll work on that in the future. Oh, I just noticed in the top right corner that we don't have water over here. So we're just going to fill that in. So I think we'll pass on the elder care part of this, but there's also these are fantastic little additions to a small town that they really increase the land value, but they are really expensive. So watch it here. So this one is 500. This one is 3,000 a week, 1,500 and 2,000. Bit gnarly, but the saunas work pretty nicely in a downtown core like so. Kind of fits along the same stylistic vibes as a small town, but it helps out the local population who want to go for saunas. So that's good. So now we're moving along. How about we look at our library coverage? This is a thing that you can do with if you play on PC and you have access to mods, but in the vanilla game you're stuck with this monstrosity of a library. It's massive. It doesn't really work for a small town, so there's a couple additions you can do in the workshop. These small little libraries, they work fantastically. And I always like putting them closer to schools, but you also don't really want them to take up the primest of real estate, right? So I think what we'll do is we'll just put this, no, let's put it over here, and we'll put it off the side street right there. And look at that. So the game was telling us that we had too much commercial for this area, and we've been kind of filling it up with some other things. So that is fantastic. Okay, so we did libraries. I'm pretty sure we're good on fire coverage through the area. Yeah, we have one over here. We could definitely use another one. So I think there is a police station over here. So I think what we'll do is we'll just kind of use this city land and we'll get a little fire station over here as well. Yeah, and hopefully that will help the coverage a little bit. You can also throw a fire watchtower in, which really helps with these larger areas. So I think we'll just try and hide one right over here. Yeah, and you can even put it somewhere into this area that might help. Yeah, wow, we have a lot of kind of dead space, don't we? We have one right here. Interesting. Thought we had a bunch of fire stations out this way. I guess not. Holy cow, that is surprising. I think I'll just place one. So this is actually our municipal service station. So a little surprised they didn't have a fire hall over there. And let's go back to Pearson. So we're gonna follow the train tracks up. Here's Pearson. This town doesn't really have a rail line through it, but there is one pretty close by. We might be able to sneak a line down, actually. That's actually a good idea for this little town. We do have a big roundabout here, which could see some changes to it. Or let's check out the topography really quickly. And it's a bit tricky to get a rail down into here. That's a pretty steep grade, but we might be able to squeeze one. Let's see, so we'll have to rise up through here, or we can cut across this road. Just looking at the topography line here. And we could bring the rail down this way. But it almost makes sense just to try to cut right through and then perhaps get it down into here, right off of this intersection, which we could upgrade into a smaller roundabout. It's actually a kind of fun little option to do. I am seeing over here we are running out of power and our water needs to be upgraded as well. The power plant I have planned for a special video where we're going to make like a nuclear power plant, I think. Very Ontario. But the water plant we could definitely add an upgrade to, kind of just at any given time. So yeah, I think this would be a good idea actually to get a cargo station down here, because I mean we're probably running everything off of this one. That's probably fine, but I think this town would have had a cargo station because it's a farming town. They probably would have had a line, been a part of the spur line here. That's kind of being an offshoot of this main line, and you know what? It might actually help out with all the crops that we're kind of putting in over here, anyways. So why don't we do that? Why don't we go to our roads here? We'll grab our roundabout builder. we'll choose a road here. We're going to choose the 3-lane highway. 3-lane highway. And we are just going to shrink that down to about there. And we definitely didn't choose the right road. Okay, so that's interesting. All right, so let's find the right one. Here it is. Yeah, there we go. And then I think we just need to do some terrain adjustments. Let's get that to the same height. Whoops. And then we'll get both these to this height and this guy to this height. And that should definitely be sloped a little bit better. We have some trees in the way. I thought collision was on. Oh, and prop and tree anarchy was on. That's funny. I don't remember having prop and tree anarchy on. Okay, so we have 2 lanes coming in to 3 lanes here. That is exactly what you want to see. 1 extra lane coming on to the roundabout than you have. And let's get another entrance into this roundabout here. So let us grab this and we'll throw it right in. Something simple like that. And I think we're going to have a pretty simple train station here. It's not really a need to make it like an uber efficient one. I think this is this can definitely be just a simple train station that's been upgraded since, say, an original spur line connection. So we'll just try and flatten this out a little bit better. It was a bit too big, wasn't it? Yeah, okay, let's just grab that height and we'll bring it back a little bit because I did destroy way more land than I was hoping for. Alrighty, so my thinking is that it would be over here, and say we might be able to say that that train line then extends all the way out of bounds over here, which we could actually make that connection. Doing some things I wasn't really thinking about doing today. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll get a bit of a curve here, and then parallel to this road, we'll get this connection. That didn't work out. Yeah, and then we'll get that to connect, and then we'll just use move it to just make it a bit smoother. Okay, so we're just using that to help guide us through here. Now let's add that train station in. So let's grab trains, cargo station. Boom. Probably should have flattened the terrain out before we place that. Yes, we are kind of cutting into a hill here, but I think that's going to be fine for now. All right, we need to run a water line up to it. So we'll just pretend that was straight. And oh yeah, this is getting a bit tight here, isn't it? Alrighty, and before I forget, we actually need to set up this roundabout to actually be a proper roundabout. And how do you do that again? It's hold shift over the roundabout. There you go, and then come back over it with dedicated turning lanes. And that should work out. Alrighty. So yeah, this is fine. You often see roundabouts on these smaller highways in Ontario. This is quite the large amount of roundabouts in one space, but in newer areas and newer highway builds, you do see them. Okay, so let us add the rail connection in. That would be a requirement, wouldn't it? So let's just do this, and then what we'll do is we'll put on the topography here. Okay, so now that we've made the train like this, I think what we're going to do is we're going to cut through. So first of all, I want the straight line connection to come out through here, And then we'll just get this to go right to about here. There we go. And then we'll have this connection. It's going to be a bit trickier. Oh, whoops, did not mean to click that in. We just need to keep this topography on because I'm trying to follow this line right here. And now we'll follow the highway. We'll try to use the grid as a bit of a marker. Now I know I could use the parallel road or the parallel tool, but I don't think I will, because not everyone has that available to them. Okay, so I'm just going to click that into about right here. Yeah, and then we'll just bring this into about right here. And then now we are going to just make a nice clean connection like that. Now I've just drawn it right over, and we're going to come back and tweak it with the movement mod. So, oh, you know what? Didn't actually make holy cow, words. I didn't actually make that connection. So let us do that now. All right, so this is a bit too wonky for what it should be. So I think we'll just bring this in to be a bit of a smoother connection. There we go. All right, so let's find where that height begins to differ. Right about here. So let us now grab the movement mod. Oh, we already are on it. Nice. And I'm just gonna grab all these lines, or all these nodes, holy cow. And we're gonna set it at the same height as this one. Fantastic. So now I have the smallest cut that I want. And now we're going to go into the network tool mod. Now we probably could have done this from the beginning, but I wanted to see how sharp this cut was going to be. We're going to go from here to here, slope it. Nice, okay, that works. It's a good cut. And then now we will open the topography here. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, so I'm just going to take out some of these trees here, just right across in the cut line. I'll put them back. I just wanted them off of kind of this little connection here. All right, so we do have the beginnings of our new train line, which is fantastic. Our connection for all these crops that we're going to be exporting. But I did say we were going to make a connection to the outside world with this, didn't I? So why don't we go into here? And there's a couple more things I actually need to do. First is we need to make a bypass along this line right here. So let us just draw it in like this, and then we'll make that connection right there. And there we go, that's pretty good. Turn bending off whenever you do railroads. I find that helps a lot. There we go. And now we have a little bit of a bypass. Fantastic. Okay, so we're gonna do the same kind of thing over here. So we're just gonna go into straight roads, and we're just gonna draw two lines. Remember, this isn't a very large train station, right? This is just a smaller line meant just for the production of this town, shipping the goods in and out of this town. So that'll be the bypass. Oh, and I forgot, we need to make another cut here, don't we? So we will just do something like that, and this cut, or I guess we should probably just this time actually do it properly and grab this node to this node and slope it 0.6%. That's pretty good. And then now we can actually make that connection. Holy cow, what's happening? There we go. And this guy is going to connect up right through here for the bypass. And then we'll just get that to connect like so. This we'll put down to this height, and that should fix all the glitching that we're seeing. This guy should go to this height. Yeah, there we go, that works. Hey, look at that. We're already seeing some shipping. Oh, this is some arrivals. Cool. That's fantastic to see. Okay, so let us kind of just finish off this rail line then, down to the outside world. So let's get that. There we go. And we are going to get to the road here, I think. And I think we're going to cross it. Because otherwise we're right up against this road here. Actually don't mind being right up against the road if we come up to about here. And we run parallel to it. Let's turn node snapping off. That would help, wouldn't it? If it actually worked. There we go. And we'll run parallel to the road. You know what? I don't like how this is turning out, so you know what? It's always a good call just to call a mulligan if you're feeling uneasy about it, right? So I think we're going to change the road height here, and we're going to go underneath the road right here. Something like that. And I think we'll just try and keep it somewhat close to the road, but we're just going to follow this terrain line ever so slightly. And we're going to just put that out of bounds. Okay, and every time you make a connection out of bounds with rail, whoa, sorry about that. I highly recommend you just stretching it out. Just stretch it out. It's probably a bit too far, to be honest. And you know what? I'm going to remove a node here. But you know, it should really be the length of a train distance away. So that actually might be good. Yeah, okay. And if you're wondering what this is, sometimes the game spawns in dummy traffic, like this guy. So it just gets them out of the city's traffic flow altogether. Really convenient, but impossible unless you have mods. And this sure as heck isn't the smoothest connection of all time. So I think we'll just forget that this exists, and I'll fix it off camera because I don't really want to spend more time doing stuff like this when we have issues like this to solve, right? So let us just grab the picker mod. We're going to select this road. We're going to put it into elevated position, and we're just going to upgrade that bit right there. We're going to grab these two, and we're just going to rise it up to the height we need it to be, which is really only about that high. And then what we'll do is we'll just use our favorite little sloping tool. Oh man. Oh man. I thought I clicked it. That's okay, mistakes happen sometimes. Let's get out of this and back into this. There we go. And now we need to fix this height all over again. Okay, so I'm not going to make that same mistake this time. I'm going to make sure that I actually click it properly. And let's just check out the topography here. Yeah, so we start rising up to about here. So I think what I'll do is I'll go back to this mode, and we'll go from here to about here, I think, is where it really starts rising. And I'll just click the slope button, and we'll see what kind of pops up here. So we do have a bit of a elevated section here. So I think what we can do So we can smooth that out momentarily. And then we can go back onto this side here, and we'll do the same to about this point. 2.5%. Yeah, that's a bit steep too, but I think it'll be worth it. So let's grab this road. We're going to extend the elevated section. Just a couple. I think this side will do it a bit farther. Awesome. Okay, and now what we'll do is we'll just grab our smoothing tool here, and we'll just smooth out the terrain. And that should blend it into the hill a bit better. Fantastic. So we'll ignore that long cut, and yeah, we'll just let that be. Okay, so we'll follow the train track all the way back. Here we are. So this is actually going to be a really helpful little piece here. So let us just fix this ever so slightly by just removing some of the jankiness with terrain. Okay, so now that we've done that, we've really increased the needs of the city, of this little town. So if we go back to our land value, hopefully it's risen a little bit. Yeah, I think it's a bit more light green, but I mean, it is just a small town in the middle of a field. There's not much more you can do. So if we're really trying to push it, what we can do is we can look at maybe getting a city park in here, but I don't think it's necessary. So I think in this situation, a more of a necessary park would be something like we already have. So if we go to our leisure tab, yeah, sometimes it glitches out a little bit. Oh, it's the light blue building. So these buildings are a bit darker red. Some over here, but we do actually have a dog park over here. So I think honestly the best we can do is probably add in another park somewhere. I prefer the dog parks. I mentioned this before, not just because dogs are awesome, but they blend into things a bit easier. They have a nice simple size to them as well. So we'll say that this road is not private property and like farm property, and we can actually build houses on it. So we'll just make some random lots. There we go. And we can probably get another house over here. Still nothing here, eh? Okay, well, that's fine, I guess. And still no industry, but that makes sense. It might actually be related to the fact that we have a theme on. So if we go into Pearson, we go into themes. Yeah, so allow buildings that are not in any theme was not on. So that might have actually been hindering what was happening here. I might have messed that up. That is okay though. Let's go to industry areas here. Yeah, so now I think it's time for us to build a little farm. So looks like we do have some more potential for residential development down over here though. Yeah, okay, so why don't we look at building the farm in this area today? Yeah, that works. Oh look, here's the school bus. Very cool. How many people are using that line? Quite a bit. All right, let's up that number. Fantastic. That is great to see. So we're gonna do something a bit similar, but I think this one's gonna be a bit more less towards the. No, I think we'll do something like a similar build to this, but I think we'll have maybe like a more of like a mass production side of it as well. Because if we go to Pearson Farms, we're already past the max resources we need, and we're almost at the workers. Actually, that's pretty good. So I guess we really should be focusing on bumping up residential. However, with these buildings, if I'm not mistaken, every time we place one, some workers just appear as well. So that is convenient. Yeah, we are okay to build in this little section. So let us make this farm's driveway. So we'll go with the dirt road. Holy cow. I'm recording this at the end of my day, and it was a doozy of a work day. So sometimes your brain is just a little fried, you know? So let's turn node snapping on. All our guidelines are on, that is great. Yeah, I think that can be a sufficient size for the driveway. So this is going to be a bit more of like a, less more like a family farm, more like a farm that maybe someone has turned into an apple orchard that you come in and pick your apples at. And, you know, they're less about the cute little family farm aspect of it, and more about the making money off of the seasonal apples kind of vibe. So let's go to the industry tab over here. Fantastic. Let's go to farm. That's not farm. We were already in farm. Let's find these large fruit fields. Okay, so yeah, there we go. And this isn't the driveway after all, so I think we'll take this road and we'll just extend it a bit this way, because unfortunately it kind of has to be a road for these. It can't just be like a pathway, but that's fine. We'll get a bit of a road over here for some parking opportunities. And let's go back to this. Get another one. And let's get, we'll say that side won't be. No, you know what? Let's get a couple of these in here. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's just extend it out just a bit more. And we actually don't need this, but I think I'll just move it over here instead. And we'll just get one more crop field through here. Fantastic. Okay, so we have the basics down, sorry. Let's get some water into these fields. Now, if this is gonna have like a sign here that says like, it's the apple orchard, I think this area will need some parking, so we'll just go to our favorite simple parking ploppable asset here, and we'll just get 2 right here, like that, with some ads, you know, and then we'll get a little bit of kind of like a hub, I guess, because they do have like these little hubs, but these are more like boxes, right? So we need a place where people come and they arrive and they're like, can I get my bag for my apples, kind of thing. So I was thinking we could do something similar to what we did last time with the farm maintenance building, but I think that's a bit more on the industrial side of things. You know, there's also this is kind of cute, but I don't think there's really a building in the other type of industry areas that we can really kind of use for that. Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, oh, that's huge. Holy cow. That wasn't the building I was thinking it was going to be. I don't know what building I thought it was going to be. But anyway, so what I was going to say is sometimes these park buildings work out great for that situation. Like this one is it's a bit of a more modern building, so maybe not this one, but this is usually kind of what I go for when I'm looking for this type of situation. Kind of looks like a kiosk in a way, but it's a bit too paved, you know? Like even this parking lot's a bit too paved for this kind of theme. So I think the zoo ones are pretty good. The zoo cafe, yeah, I mean, this kind of looks like something that, let's see if I can just press tab here and zoom in. Yeah, I mean, it says zoo on it. If you ignore that part, it kind of looks like something that you might see in the situation. Maybe you can come in and buy some apple cider at the store aspect of it. It looks like it has some doors on it. Yeah, I think that's pretty cute. I think we'll roll with that. And I think I just need to realign it a bit. There we go. But, you know, I think we could also roll with something like some restrooms as well attached to it. So we'll just realign it so that it's all shaped up. It's a bit off. That's okay. Yeah, there we go. And then if we just grab our trees, and we just fill it up around the inside. Get some more trees over here too. All right, so we do need buildings that can store the crops. So I think what we can do here is we're gonna grab this dirt road again, and we're gonna run it right along the side here. We're gonna actually connect it up to this. We will just bring this out to about here. Yeah, that's nice. And then I think we're gonna run a lot of the more industrial things off of this road and this road here. Yeah, that makes sense. We are running out of time, so let us just grab a little road here. So we're gonna go with this dirt road. I do want the farmer to kind of live off the property here, so we'll just put this here like that, and then we'll get a nice big house right here. Okay, so we're just gonna put this path in here for our sake. We also need paths in between here as well. So we're gonna get that like that. Now I really don't want to break my New Year's resolution, which was to not make any video over 50 minutes, but we'll see. Okay, so now we need a fence line. Nature reserve fence works. And we'll just get that to go right through there. Right through here. I don't really want them on the inside. Right through here. And then we'll get this fence right along down to here as well. And then we'll have this fence running to here and to here, marking off this property. It's a bit off-centered, so I think I'll just try to recenter it with that. Okay, so kind of have this vibe going on, and you know what asset actually really works in these types of situations? The dog park asset actually. Oh, that's not the dog park. This really fits in this kind of vibe we're going for. So if I just grab it. Oh, whoops, did not mean to place two. Grab it with move it here. I think this is the entrance. Yeah, just gonna add something a little bit to the area. The small playground also works. You could also use the city playground, but actually, yeah, I think that'll work a bit better for this vibe. So I'm just gonna place that down. Oh my god, I did it again. Oh my god. Come on, silly me. Just trying to click move it. Okay, and then we'll just extend this out just a bit. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we got the basics in. We do need to make the rest of the farm really quickly. So let us go into farming. I want the farm maintenance building. So we'll place this right here like that. We'll just realign it ever so slightly. So that guy's farmhouse is going to be right here. And I think we could use something like this over here to kind of add a bit of another building here. It doesn't necessarily need to be a farm workers building, but perhaps if it works kind of in junction with our grain silo here. And we'll do something like that. Perhaps it's two different types of grain silos. And we're gonna set these on empty. And then we're almost done here. I don't necessarily think we need much over here, but I think we'll throw a barn down just to say maybe this was the old barn for the area. And since this is going to get traffic, I'll throw it on empty. And okay, yeah, that's a good addition. That's a pretty big farm. It's definitely going to increase the amount of crops that we have flowing through the city. And something else that we can kind of maybe think about doing is building a flour mill in here at some point. Or maybe we can do that a bit closer to here. Holy cow, look at the traffic this is doing. This is doing a lot more traffic than I was anticipating it to be actually. But you know what, we can actually take a quick peek at where the people are going. So coming in and out of the city, all the way from over here, eh? So they're shipping things out of here and not out of Strathcona lumber. That's surprising, but I guess it is quite the long route otherwise. So perhaps we need to think about making another rail station over here, maybe adding a junction in and crossing it so that we have Strathcona connected a bit easier with this area, because we did do a lot through here. Huh, okay, well. Very nice, very nice. Well, we are getting to the end. I think we're probably good, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty cool. I think maybe we can squeeze in another one of these to try to help the vibe out a little bit. But oh, look at that, there we go. So whenever you do a farmhouse like this, always like to make it historical, really no matter what it is. But we got the farm maintenance building through here. I think that's the last of the farm buildings that I really wanted through here too. So yeah, could do something. No, we'll end it like that. Okay, so since this is kind of the end of this, I think I want to just grab the fence and just try to make it seem like it's a bit more final, since this is this guy's property, this family's property, sorry. And we'll just try to surround it a little bit better, make it a bit more secure. Yeah, and then we have this big open space here for something else in the future if we decide to continue this farm. If not, then that's the end of it, and I think that's kind of nice. So you can come driving along here if you're looking to pick some apples, and you see the yakisoba sign. You turn into here, and look at this. Holy cow, look at this little setup they got. They got a little cafe. Maybe they sell the apples there. They even got some restrooms. Your kids can play in the sandbox there, and then they go out and pick some apples. Yeah, very nice. Very nice indeed. You can always just add a couple signs, and I think I mentioned this. If we go into the nature reserve area here, just add these signs here, and then I'll tell them, like, no going farther than that. And then if we come over to here, we can have another little sign, and this another sign over here, you know, directing people to what these are. Macintosh apples, these are Gala apples. Yeah, so there we go. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed today's build, folks. Let us just do something like this, kind of showing off the expansion of the town a little bit, even though we didn't really do too much, but you know, there's everything with the train station as well. So hope you enjoyed it, folks. Talk to you soon. Peace out.